Hello and welcome. This is Japan in honor of Randy Orton having a title match, which should be probably when this video posts tonight at Backlash. I figured we would rate the versions of Randy Orton. I'm gonna do the best I can on some of this because some of it, I don't really know like when he was like a rookie. These first three are a little bit iffy on. I do kind of remember when he first joined the roster, but I don't remember one and three right here. But I do remember the most of them. So we're going to kind of rate them the best way we can. And remember, it's just kind of my opinion. Sometimes it differs from other people. So we will see. So let's jump right into it. So we'll go right off the bat as a rookie. I honestly don't know as what he was in Ohio Valley Wrestling. I do remember seeing some older stuff like in like little highlights for like hype packages or stuff like that or like vignettes. So I know he was, pretty solid. I don't think anything too crazy. He kind of just has that look to him. And I honestly think like Randy Orton looks good and he has like the muscles and stuff, but I think like younger Randy Orton is just way better, more better looking than like overly muscled Randy Orton. At least that's just me. I guess I will just put this towards the mid card. I don't think it's necessarily trash. I think it's fine. Then we'll go to the main roster debut. I think is also about the same, and then I'll put this Randy News Network down here. I honestly don't know that, so I'm just gonna put it down here as like mid card or whatever. I didn't make the tier list things, but you know what? I'm just going to change this as we go because this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to judge it that way. I don't know why they have it that way. C and then D. So I'll put it in C. I think that it's acceptable, and obviously it's just like the start of it. And then right off the bat, the very next one I got is Evolution. I liked him in Evolution a lot. I really like that faction in general. And as a kid, I thought I'm like, I don't really like these guys together, but I thought as a kind of crazy faction, it was kind of crazy, like it really was. And that was before I even like, as a kid, I didn't realize the extent of Ric Flair because he wasn't like a big popular wrestler like when I was growing up. He was just like, I remember him mainly in Evolution. I don't remember him in anything before that. So to put that into perspective, it was just like, this is crazy group, and then we kind of have like the old guy there. But seeing in retrospect, it's even crazier to know. And obviously Triple H in it and Batista were pretty crazy. So I'm gonna put that up in S tier because I really like that. The youngest world champion, I felt like him branching out after Evolution was still pretty solid. Wasn't too crazy of a fan with it, but I feel like it still was pretty solid to be out there. I'll put it up in A tier. Next up, we had the Legend Killer. Um, and that really was one of those times where you just kind of felt like that just like a-hole type. I really didn't like Randy Orton as much during this time. I put it in B. I still think it's like really good for him, but me personally didn't really enjoy it that much. Next up is Rated RKO. I honestly like this tag team. I wasn't a big Edge fan growing up. So like nothing against Edge. It's one of those things as a kid when you're growing up, you definitely like people based off of who they are. You don't really understand that it's necessarily a character to a certain extent. You just think that's how the person is, even though you know certain stuff about wrestling, but like you still expect that's just how that guy is in real life, but you never really realize that they're playing characters. So I never really liked Edge ever until like much later on, until I like, oh yeah, well, like he did his job because he made me hate him, and he did a good job with it. So rated RKO, I put it probably in the middle. I thought it wasn't bad because it was like it got me to like Edge a little bit, but again, didn't last. It felt like they have the little time on here. It didn't feel like it lasted that long, to be honest. That's like 8 months. It's kind of crazy. The Age of Orton. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember too much of this. I think this is when he had a lot of feuds with John Cena, because it wasn't like '09 Randy Orton, like the bald headed one. I think that's more post Legacy, which I'm surprised they didn't have Legacy. Oh wait, Legacy's over here. Or they just got knocked out of order. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, how could they not have Legacy on here? I mean, it's kind of like what he's kind of known for. This Age of Orton, I'd probably just put it in the middle. Again, I like remember it, but I think I was more of a John Cena fan during that way, so I probably really didn't like him as much. But yeah. Then we had Legacy. I think Legacy was a pretty solid faction. I didn't really probably care too much for them. Growing up, I really didn't like heels as much, like unless they were like Undertaker or Kane, where they were like kind of just like dark and spooky, because that was kind of a cool thing. But um, I think seeing back in the day and seeing how much it made like Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. like they both got their start in that, which is pretty crazy. But I'll put it in solid B. I thought it was still really good. And plus, it kind of includes the '09 Randy Orton bald headed menace. So I think that's pretty up there. This post legacy, I feel like I remember him the most during this time. I can't imagine like think about like exactly what he was doing during this time, to be honest. But I do remember like after Legacy had like imploded and stuff. But it's like between that and the Apex Predator, I'm not 100% sure. So I'll put this one here. But the Apex Predator, like when they referred to him as that, was awesome. It just he was just so like just crazy and like so over with like being a bad guy, but everybody like still liked him and stuff. Then we had the Authority. I never really cared too much during that time. I'll be honest. I feel like this wasn't anything too crazy for me. I think obviously he had some great accolades during that time, but I do prefer when he had that match afterwards with Seth Rollins and stuff. I think that's like this post time. I think was a little bit more of my favorite time. Then we had the Wyatt family. I'm gonna be honest. I did not care for his time with the Wyatt family. I don't know. The Wyatt family was just like with Bray Wyatt was just by himself, like with his like immediate like what would be the family and stuff behind him. I think that was when it was the most like the best part of that like faction was that time. But then when they added other people like Daniel Bryan and like Randy Orton like had like different feuds with that and the like all that other different stuff, I feel like that was kind of you know not my favorite. I'm gonna have to put it in D. It's just me personally. I just like the Wyatt family separate from that. Grand Slam champ. Honestly, I don't remember this time being much of anything other than the U.S. title reign, and I don't think it was anything super crazy. I'm gonna put it in C. Nothing too crazy. Next up is the Return of the Legend Killer. Now this one's a little weird for me because like I know like during like 2020, which was like on the pandemic thing, he was doing a lot of random stuff, beating in matches with Alexa Bliss and other stuff. I feel like he was just kind of all over the place. I think it was still pretty solid, but like there was a lot of bad in there too, with a lot of good. So B seems to be the middle of the road. RK Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I just never liked this at all. I know it was the whole point of like getting two people that were completely opposites, but I just did not like it, and I just didn't really feel like Randy Orton to just even let Matt Riddle survive doing stuff for him. To be honest, like even though like he earned his respect, I just never could see it. It just wasn't my thing. So I'm gonna have to put that in D. And then now back from injury, where he's currently back, I think he's doing pretty good. I feel like the package pile driver that Kevin Owens gave him, with him being gone for as long as it was, that kind of sucked. I feel like they could have fixed that because like he did it to Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes was out like 2 weeks, and he did it to Sami Zayn, who was out like what a month or two. But it felt like Orton was out for a long time. I like his current feud with John Cena, so I enjoyed that type of stuff. But I think it's not like completely done, so to know what this is. I figured like it maybe could be eventually like Return to the Voices and then him eventually turning heel, but I'm not 100% sure. It feels like he's just going to be a good guy for the time being. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. It's a little harder to think about when it's like a huge body of work, because like Randy Orton is obviously a guaranteed Hall of Famer. I honestly feel like he should be seriously considered to break John Cena's record. Um, Even seriously considered to take the belt off of Cena, not at Backlash, but like later on. So I don't see a problem with any of this. This has just been a great body of work. He's probably one of the most solid wrestlers from the start to finish, from 2000 free all the way till now. Like it's just been nonstop greatness. I mean, I guess 2002, which is just insane that he's had such a long career and been at the top of it the entire time. But if you like these wrestling videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have a bunch of Backlash stuff. We had a prediction video already up on the channel, and then we will have a review. The review might be a little late because I'm actually going to Backlash, so it'll take me probably a little bit to record it because I'll probably have to do it when I get home. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good day. Bye, guys.